Hey y'all, and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. If you're new around here, my name is Katie Marie, and typically today I sit down and chat with you guys about new makeup releases, if I plan to buy them or not, and I share it in a top 5, bottom 5 fashion, where I go and share with you guys a top 5 like really awesome releases that I'm super excited for and if I plan to buy them. And then I also share the bottom 5 that I'm just like, yeah, no, that's an easy pass for me, easy anti-haul. And in today's video, I actually have a little bit of an interesting twist because it's all pretty much an anti-haul. I have one thing that I can honestly say I'm excited for, and everything else, all the rest of the 9-10 items that I found this week that caught my eye are a huge fail. So today's video is much more of an anti-haul than typical. So we're gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna share with you guys some new makeup releases. Most of them are indie, but new makeup releases that caught my eye and are just a huge, big fail for me. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so first up, let's go ahead and just talk about the one thing, like I said, that I am excited for, and that's going to be from Give Me Glow, and they finally shared the next palette that they're going to be releasing with their Night Lights palette. And I talked about this green palette, the Nightlife palette, a couple weeks ago, just talking to you guys about how amped up and excited I am for it. Beautiful color story, beautiful color choices, beautiful artwork, everything about the palette I absolutely love, and I am planning to pick it up. But I did say that I think they were coming out with another palette, and they finally shared that palette, and this is also called the Nightlife palette. I don't know if it's called Nightlife Coral, I guess is what it's called. I don't see the words coral on here, but it says it's a Nightlife Coral. Anyway, so another palette. I have no idea if they're going to share any more, but I'm just going to talk about it in this video in case these are the only two. But it's launching, I think, next week, and this palette, even though it's not quite a sell for me, I don't think I'll pick it up. I will say though that this is a really fun type of red, orange, pink type of color story that I would have fun creating looks with. I have Going Bananas, and it is one of my favorite yellow single shadows that I own. It's so intensely like a lime yellow. It's just so beautiful. One of the first that I purchased and tried from them, and I absolutely loved it. Orange Soda Pop and Mango Margarita. I know I don't know if I own them in singles or in a previous palette, but really great shadows, and overall just a really pretty array of colors. So like I said, I'm not planning to pick this up. I think mainly because there's not enough depth in there. If that purple was a really deep purple, or maybe the reds were really deep, then maybe I'd pick it up and have some fun with it. But again, I don't need another new palette. So since I can't say no to this, I'm not planning to pick it up. I do want to, however, pick up the blue-green palette, the other shades that I don't have, and at least the empty magnetic palette, because it's so very pretty. So very pretty, so very fun. But yeah, I can at least say this was an exciting launch from this past week. I think it's very pretty, very well done. Give Me Glow's formula. If you're new around here, I absolutely love Give Me Glow's matte and shimmer formula. They're so good, so nice. So overall, it was just the highlight of the week because everything else that launched this week was such a dud. But this actually, like when I saw it, I was like, that's really pretty. Okay, now we're gonna get into all the fails for me from this past week. And first up is going to be from About Face Beauty. They are launching a drugstore brand called AF94. Don't know what that stands for at all, but it's made to play makeup, and it's supposed to be like a cheaper version or you know, more affordable version of About Face and what About Face is all about. And I just look at this and I'm just like, this is definitely not for me. I don't know. I understand that they're trying to make it, you know, drugstore more affordable, so cheaper packaging, but I just feel like presentation packaging wise, everything's kind of like in a tube, more stick type of makeup. It's just not me. You guys know me. I'm into the palettes, the fun color stories. Even like my face products, I feel like I'm a little bit more minimalistic and not quite so colorful. I don't know. Just looking at it, it looks like they have like face stickers, but then they have liquid liners, lipsticks, gel liners, maybe some contours. It's going to be exclusively at Walmart, but I don't know. I just looked over this. I've looked through the different pictures that I've seen people talk about it and, you know, share about it, and absolutely nothing about the brand or any of the products intrigue me. So hence why it's earning, you know, a spot in today's video for it as an anti-haul, just because I saw it, I was like, yeah, it doesn't excite me. The packaging doesn't like call to me. I don't know. Even the name AF92. Let me see if it says what it stands for. Yeah, AF92. What is AF92? Do they share what it means? A made-to-play makeup brand dreamt up by Halsey. AF94 is all-day color built for self-expression. I don't know. I don't know what AF92 stands for. It's just an interesting choice, I feel like. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This just made into the anti-haul because I just wasn't into it at all. Okay, next up is going to be from a brand I've heard a little bit about. This is Wicked Widow Beauty, and also I guess it's a collab, or it's done with this Cherry Anti-Acid SX, Hannah, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure I mispronounced her username, but it looks like it's either, it looks like it's in collaboration. Yeah, it's collabing with Hannah to release their Twisted Cherry palette. So here's what the palette looks like, and I will say, for what it is, being a very like pink and red type of color story, it seems pretty. It's got depth in it. The shimmers or press gloaters, whichever those are, look pretty. I'm not into the packaging personally, so that's a big and easy kind of turn off slash, you know, anti-haul for me to not really be interested in it. And then really looking at it, I like that they put the really bright pop of pink and red in there over here with the matte shades, just to give it something interesting that's going to create a lot of really pretty looks. And like I said, I appreciate all the depth that they have here. Seems a tad bit repetitive, you know, to have those, you know, being a smaller palette, to have three dark shades that are so very close, but I at least appreciate that there's depth in there. However, as a whole, well, there's aspects that I can look at this palette and be like, oh, I think that's pretty. As a whole, it's a very easy pass for me. Okay, next up is from Hipdot, and they are collaborating with My Chemical Romance Black Parade Collection. I think is this the second or third collab they've done with My Chemical Romance? I don't know much about My Chemical Romance, but I do remember them, I'm pretty sure, doing a collab with them. Anyway, they have a palette that's kind of shaped like a CD player here. They have lipsticks. A CD player, I guess, is the outside of the palette. I will say very neat packaging. I like the CD player really committing, or the palette really committing to looking like a CD player there. I think that's neat. But since, as I said, I don't know anything about the band or the, you know, musicians or anything like that, that doesn't appeal to me. And then looking at the color story, it really doesn't appeal to me. I appreciate that they have, you know, looks like 4 mattes, 4 shimmers, but the dark shades are all shimmery or like more satin leaning. I don't know. I'm just not into the color story. And when I really zoom in to see what's shimmer and what's matte, doesn't make me interested in it anymore. I think coloring wise, it kind of seems to go with the theme of the collab and all that, with the red and the black and the gray. But for me, it's just, I'm not into it. Like I said, don't know anything about My Chemical Romance. Don't, you know, absolutely love the color story, since I'm not really into the band, music in general, CD players, that type of thing. I'm not into that nostalgia, and then the color story just is not for me. So all around, super easy pass. Okay, next up, we're gonna talk about a palette shaped like a stiletto. And this is from YL Cosmetics LLC, I think is how it's broken down. YL Cosmetics LLC. Never heard of this brand before, but it caught my eye because of this rainbow palette down here, and they're all shaped like stilettos. And I was like, wow, okay, that's quite interesting. It looks like they have a blue theme palette, a red theme, purple theme, and then a rainbow theme. Very creative. I kind of wish they would have taken advantage of the stiletto part of it and put shadows all the way down there, because it just looks a little empty and kind of, I don't know. It's like, if you're gonna have it, okay, you know, shaped like a stiletto, okay, but like fill it, I don't know. I don't like the empty space, I guess is what I'm saying. But like color story wise and looking at the different colors, I think it's a fun color story with the rainbow palette there, and then even the more monochromatic palettes, they look nice. I will say swatches don't look that strong, but they are simple arm swatches. I feel like the blue has the least amount of range when I'm looking at the colors and the palettes and whatnot. Or the red does too. I don't know, very repetitive, like so many colors so close. I like monochromatic palettes, but I like to feel a range within it. I guess the blue has more than the red does. I don't know. I'm just not super into them. Like, I appreciate that they fold all the way back so you can really hold it like a stiletto, but again, I really wish they would have made the stiletto a little bit bigger, or the heel, whatever it's called, a little bit bigger so you could fit shadows all the way down. I appreciate that they have a black in the rainbow palette. I think that's pretty, but as a whole, there was nothing about this collection that really grabbed me besides the colors. The packaging was kind of a turn off. So as a whole for me, I was just kind of like, yeah, no, never mind. So an easy pass. On the heels of that, see what I did there? We're gonna talk about another brand that shaped it like a stiletto. And this is from, oh, I can't even pronounce this name. Let's see. On Your Avenue Cosmetics. I'm sure I butchered it. Feel free to correct me down below, as always. But this brand also is launching a palette shaped like a stiletto. They took a different take with this and didn't, like, you know, cut out the stiletto. So they're able to use more of the palette. As you can see, it's a much bigger palette here. But there's still a lot of dead space in the palette. And I don't know, I guess maybe I just don't like heels slash stilettos for packaging. You could say that. But as a whole, doesn't call to me. It's a pink purple palette. Easy pass for me. They also come out with lipsticks that the boxes are stiletto shaped. I was kind of bummed because when I first saw it, I thought that it was different type of palettes, kind of like the last brand. But no, they're just for lipsticks, and they also have a sponge, which I feel like that heel is going to rip off of the sponge. I don't know, it just feels a little interesting. They're really committed to the whole stiletto theme of this collection, so you can appreciate that about it. But as a whole, this collection just didn't call to me. Maybe it's because I'm not into those super high heels like that. I don't know. I looked at it, I was like, okay, that's cute, but absolutely no interest in actually desire in trying it out. So for me, super easy pass. It's also, you know, I've never heard of this brand before, so it's easier for me to pass on brands that I haven't heard and experienced yet. Stiletto palette, 20 shades, $45. 5 lip products, $14 each. Sponge, $10. But for me, like the palette, the color story definitely isn't for me. So overall, palette, packaging, and then color story isn't for me. It was a very easy anti-haul, very easy pass. Okay, next up, Natasha Denona dropped a new mini palette. This is the mini bronzed eyeshadow palette. I feel like she's already launched one of these before, but I think she's kind of taking all her bigger palettes and releasing minis of them more recently. So I don't know. It doesn't intrigue me. I think it's a pretty array for a neutral palette because it has the depth in there, but it has those warm tones in there. I like the tones of this for a neutral palette. I could definitely get a look or two out of here that I'd probably really enjoy, but as a whole, it doesn't call to me at all, so it's an easy pass. I will say, like, this formula, or they had one of her palettes, the little 5-pan palettes, and it was a really nice formula, but the color story just didn't call to me, so I did end up decluttering it, and this is like the same. I just doesn't call to me, so easy pass, but it's launching July 19th, so already out. If you were curious, let me know if you picked it up. I would be curious to know. Shades included. I don't think there are any new shades from what I know, but there are more matte than metallic, so that's good, but it's a pass for me. Okay, this is something I just saw today. I totally missed it when it came out, or they announced it before, but Ooma Beauty is launching the Salute to the Sun collection, and they got lipsticks, liquid highlighters, they got gel liners, looks like mascaras, and also a palette. And this palette is very unique. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Those are the highlighters. Easy pass for me. I'm not into liquid highlighters. We got mascaras, blue and black. I'm not into blue mascaras. This is the palette. And I'll have to go over to their Instagram account so you guys can actually see how you open the palette, because it's quite interesting packaging. Here we go. So you turn it like that. It's very neat packaging. Very neat. I will give it that. I love how you turn it and you open it, but I feel like it would break, or I would break it very easy. And then once you get past the packaging, if you actually look at the color story, that's where it's just kind of like, easy pass for me. Because if you really look here, it looks like there's 3 mattes, and I like the mustard. I will say that. It's a good mustard. I love a good mustard. I love a blue shimmer, but not enough depth for me, and only one of the mattes are really exciting for me. The others is like a mauve and a dark berry type of tone, and then all the other shimmers, a lot of the shimmers look very close. I appreciate they have a gold and more greenish tone, but bulky packaging, you know, cute, but a little gimmicky of the packaging with the turning thingy that I feel like I'm gonna break. I don't know. It's just, I'm not into the collection. That's basically what it comes down to. And then when I look at the color story, I'm also not into it. Very, you know, prettily done, especially with those lipstick etching and whatnot. And like I said, I like the little detail with the packaging that you have to turn it in order to open it. It makes you salute to the sun. The whole theme of the collection really stand out, but for me, overall, it's a very easy pass. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you like this collection? Do you like the packaging for the palette? Let me know. All right, Colourpop launched something, and of course, it's in an anti-haul for me because that's how it tends to go with Colourpop. They have their newest terracotta-inspired collection. I feel like they've done terracotta-inspired collections more than once in the past year, but correct me if I'm wrong. This is their newest launch. I will say I love the range in here. I love the depth in here, and this is a neutral palette that is at least a little bit interesting for me. When I look at it, it's like, okay, it's a neutral palette, but it's got depth in there. It's got, you know, those warm tones. The shimmers I feel like are really boring for me personally, but I like that they have a nice variety of shimmers to mattes and whatnot, not too heavy on the shimmers. But I don't know. It's just definitely not for me. And the packaging doesn't stand out that much for me. Lippies, body highlighter, nothing about this really stands out. So another collection from Colourpop, and I really don't have anything to say or comment about it except that it's kind of boring to me, so therefore a very easy pass for me. I feel like this is gonna be the quickest will I buy it to talk about new makeup releases that I've done in a very long time, because everything was just such an easy pass for me. I feel like I don't have much to comment. But last up, this one is at least a little intriguing. This is from Sydney Grace Cosmetics, and this is the Mountain Trail palette. And this is a palette that me from like 2015 would have been like going gaga over it, because it would have been the gold and the green and colorfulness that I was comfortable in back in the day. But looking at this now, This would be a nice neutral palette that I would enjoy, you know, using every now and then. But as far as like inspiring and excited to use it, I would not be, just because the tones in it are so kind of earthy and neutral and subdued. It's just not a palette for me. But like I said, I can at least appreciate if this was me newly married type of thing. I was into greens and golds very much, and these were the tones that I was very comfortable wearing on my eyes. So I would have been all over this and I would have absolutely loved it. But looking at it now, I look at it and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not intrigued at all to pick this up. But if you were interested, you can pick it up. It is available at Sydney Grace Cosmetics, and it was a launch that they're doing in part of their Christmas in July. So if you are at all curious in trying Sydney Grace, or you enjoy the brand and want to maybe pick something up during a sale, this would be the time to try them out, because they're doing like different sales every day. They do something really big and fun for Christmas, and it's Christmas in July sale, July 25th to August 1st. New deals every day starting at 9 a.m. PDT. So if you're at all curious, I'll put this up for a minute while I'm talking, but you can go to Sydney Grace Cosmetics Instagram page and see what I'm seeing here. But different things for every day. It's a lot of fun. I always like to look over it. I don't generally take advantage of the sales, just because in general, Sydney Grace tends to be a more neutral type of natural type of makeup when it comes to the eyeshadows and whatnot, more so than I'm interested in. So I don't tend to purchase from them often, but I did purchase from them back in the day when I was more into neutrals, and I did really enjoy their formula. All right, so there you have it. That is all the releases that really caught my eye, and all of them were very easy anti-hauls, very anticlimactic for me when I was looking through the new launches from this past week and keeping my eye on things. There's nothing really that came out that was like a wow factor, which I mean is probably a nice break to have, because I feel like the last couple of weeks I've just been like inundated with so many palettes that I'm excited for. It is nice to slow down and be like, nothing interests me this week, and keep on trucking. So today, hence why I'm naming this more of an anti-haul type of video, just because everything was just such a dud for me. But I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of these new releases. Let me know if you're planning to pick any up. Let me know if any of them excite you, if you're interested in, and let me know if you've tried any of the brands, because several of the brands that I mentioned today are relatively new to me. So I'd love to hear if you've tried them, if you recommend them, if you've tried the brand out, that type of thing. Let me know that down below in the comments, or if you're watching live, feel free to let me know that as we chat as this premieres. But that is pretty much gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna keep it very short to the point. This should be relatively easy for me to edit, because such a short video, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm so surprised. But with that said, let me go ahead and insert a little bump date here for you guys, because I did have someone ask if I could share a little bump date, and I've been forgetting, so here you go. All right, I think I can catch my whole belly in here so you guys can see, but we are 34 weeks at this point. But yeah, 34 weeks, and baby's doing great. I'm very thankful to say that. She's doing great. She's measuring a little bit big, which I'm not super thrilled about, but not that you could do much about that. But looking forward to her arrival next month, mid-August. If you're new around here, mid-August is my due date. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't mind sharing bump dates. The person who asked was very kind and said, like, only if you're comfortable with it. And I don't mind. I've been forgetting. And usually when I sit down to film, I'm in such a hurry. Like I said, I just forget to think to include it. So throwing that in there at the end for you guys if you are at all curious. But we are on the like home stretch. I can say next month, and I am so excited. I cannot wait for next month to be here. I am ready for the baby to be here. Life will be interesting for a while, but I'm ready for her to be out of my tummy. So anyway, with all that said, that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Once again, I really do appreciate it. And per usual, if you want to continue getting daily content from me, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92 over there. I think I went like this before, but I think it was, I forget which side my little graphic goes on. So LadyKatie92, if you want to follow me on Instagram, definitely check me out. I leave a link down in my description box. And with all that said, that is going to do it for me, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.